your News at 5, we are seeing new evidence of just how powerful those tornadoes were that hit us yesterday. Tonight, we've got you covered on the ratings the National Weather Service gave them, and we've got team coverage of the aftermath.
It was the most eerie sound I've ever heard.
How so?
Just strange, like suction sound.
Plus, what homeowners in Rock County experienced as the tornadoes blew through and the damage they're left to pick up.
I'm Darielle Fair reporting in Evansville. I'll have you covered on how Rock County officials are responding to yesterday's storm.
And we'll take a detailed look at that storm, let you know exactly what caused this storm to occur, and we'll also talk about a much quieter, tranquil forecast ahead.
We've got you covered. This is 27 News at 5.
We continue our coverage of Wisconsin's historic tornadoes right now with a bird's eye view of the destruction they left behind. Within the last few hours, survey crews confirmed 2 tornadoes touched down. You're looking at damage left behind from one that touched down near Evansville, classified as an EF2. And the National Weather Service says it is one of the high end. It's on the high end of an EF2 with winds of 135 miles an hour.
And we are still getting new images into the newsroom at this hour of that power on display last night and Wisconsin's first ever recorded tornadoes in February. You're taking a look at viewer video we got from Kathy in Evansville, south of Madison. The tornado reached that EF2 strength just north of U.S. Highway 13, east of Evansville. The other tornado near Albany was a high EF1. Thanks so much for joining us as we look back on this storm and ahead to the recovery. I'm Sarah Maslar-Donar.
And I'm Brandon Taylor. We have team coverage tonight. Our crews are standing by in Evansville. Rachel Perry walks us through the damage left behind. Darielle Fair sits down one-on-one with the Rock County Sheriff as they work to clean up after the storm.
Chloe Morrissey has more from the homeowners impacted by this. But first, we start with 27 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Cameron Hopman. Cameron, you have all the ingredients that came together to spawn these 2 tornadoes.
Hey, Sarah, Brandon. Yeah, you know, you'll remember yesterday it was warm. Not only warm, it was record-setting warm, or at least record-matching warm. We had 55 degrees yesterday in Madison. Elsewhere, it was even warmer. And yeah, it was that added warmth that helped fuel, in part, those storms we dealt with yesterday. Now, our first tornado warnings were issued for parts of Greene County just right around 5 to 5:15. We were actually tracking 2 separate cells around that time. And it was this first cell just east of Monroe that spawned that EF1 tornado. But it wasn't until later in the evening, once these 2 cells merged west of Evansville, that we really started running into kind of a doubling down and intensification of the storm system as it rolled through. So you can see that large cell just west of Evansville. The storm didn't actually touch down until just east of Evansville, according to the National Weather Service. Then it rolled north of Edgerton and eventually out towards Oakland, Jefferson, and Conomowoc. Now, that did eventually pull up from the ground, but it did damage. Again, winds in excess of 130 miles per hour, an EF2 tornado, something we have not seen all too often, not only in February. Obviously, these are our first recorded tornadoes in the month of February in Wisconsin history, but this is over the last decade alone. You can check this out. We have had just 12 EF2 tornadoes. Yesterday was number 12, an absolutely unprecedented event across southern Wisconsin, and moving forward, thankfully, quieter weather. I'll let you know exactly how quiet that's coming up.
We'll see you in just a few minutes. Rachel Perry continues our team coverage now. She's been in Evansville all day.
We know at least 20 homes in Rock County were damaged by the tornadoes. And Rachel, the homes you have seen were hit pretty hard.
Yeah, guys, here on North Tolles Road, it looks like only a few properties were hit, like this one behind me, especially this structure I'm standing next to. You can see over this way, some of the vehicles were just completely crushed. Others were flipped over. We can walk this way a bit more, too, and show you some of this damage out in that field. There is a classic car and another one in this pile that we're told the Mustang in here. The family was working to remodel at the time that this happened, and the storm came through and crushed everything inside of here. It looks like, honestly, that this ceiling and the building itself just completely caved in on itself. I mean, we're told that Tractors from the 20s are inside here and so much more. The family luckily says that they're all okay. They went to the basement when they saw the tornado coming in, the couple and their dog. But when they came out afterwards, this is what they were left with. The whole front of their house was also just completely destroyed. Now, we talked with one of the family members who also lives down the road from here, who says that his barn was destroyed, but his house was okay, and that he's never seen anything like this.
Well, after it went through and the barn fell down, we all started trying to call each other, and we couldn't really call each other. My brother came flying back to get up here, and my nephew was in the basement with his girlfriend, and it took a while to get up here to find out that he was okay, but everybody was safe, so that's the main thing.
Tonight at 6, why he says the noise of the tornado still sticks in his head, and more about this scene around us. But for now, reporting live in Evansville, Rachel Perry, 27 News.
Okay, Rachel, thank you. Miraculous that no major injuries were reported. Now, while Rachel was in Rock County, she went live on our website this afternoon to give us an in-depth tour of this storm damage. We've posted that video on our YouTube page. You can also find a number of other storm-related videos there, as well as the forecasts from our meteorologists.
And we continue our team coverage right now. We want to check in with our Darielle Fair in Rock County, who talked with officials today. Darielle.
That's right, Brennan and Sarah. As you can see behind me, officials set up a command post to address those response efforts. I spoke with Rock County Sheriff Curtis Fell, who said residents in the area are donating food to those in need. He is encouraging anyone who has suffered from damages or helping the community clean up to come get a warm meal. Fell says those food items and other resources will continue to be available to whoever needs them. That post was set up at Piggly Wiggly's. Hy-Vee also sponsored some of those food donations. I had a chance to speak with Brett Von Bank, director of the Janesville Hy-Vee, about their efforts to support the community. Von Bank also said his team is communicating directly with Rock County officials to determine how they can continue to service the area. While I was here earlier this morning, quite a few members of the community came out to grab a bite of food, and they are still offering some of those items right now. Rock County officials have confirmed about 20 homes experienced moderate to severe damage, but are saying they won't have a full count until the National Weather Service completes their assessment of the property damage in the area. That wreckage is just about a mile up the road from here. On 27 News at 6, I'll have you covered on how authorities say the community itself came together to help one another. Live in Evansville, Darielle Fair, 27 News.
Within the last 90 minutes, officials held a news conference in Rock County.
First responders say they've been going house to house, checking on people who were impacted by the storms. And 3 teams from the National Weather Service are working on damage assessment. Even though the damage is extensive, the Rock County Sheriff says just one person was taken to the hospital.
Considering what came through here, the fact that only one person got transported by ambulance is, almost a miracle, if you want to call it that.
Crews are working to restore power, but some people may not have the lights turned back on until early next week.
Anyone who still needs assistance following the tornadoes last night can access United Way's 211 number. Rock County set up a support line in coordination. You can call 211 to report any damage or unmet needs.
The damage from these storms went well beyond Evansville and Rock County. These pictures are from Decatur in the Broadhead area of Greene County. There's a slideshow of these photos posted on WKOW.com right now. If you have photos that you want to share, send them to connect@WKOW.com.
We are looking at gloomy, cloudy skies out there this evening, and as we look at that constellation camera, or I should say our tower cam, if it can pop up, we are looking at, yes, very kind of gray, gloomy conditions throughout the region this evening. Our cloud cover, yes, sticking around, making for a dreary, cooler day to say the least. Temperatures as of right now sitting right around 39 degrees, feeling like 35 out there currently. So winds right now primarily from the south, not really doing all that much to help keep temperatures nice and mild here at home. We had 55 degrees yesterday afternoon. Today, we saw high temperatures in those mid to low 50s or 40s, depending on where you are. Next couple of hours, seeing temperatures on that gradual decline down to around 38 degrees right around 8 o'clock this evening. The cloud cover sticks around, but eventually we will see sunshine return. I'll let you know exactly when the sun will make its way back into the region, how warm things are about to get, and how long we'll have to wait before that next chance of precip arrives. That is all coming up.
Well, beyond our daily forecast updates, our 27 Storm Track weather app is the tool you need during weather events like last night's tornadoes. It sends you geotagged weather alerts wherever you are and those warnings. You can also track out storms with a live radar feature.
Well, still ahead at 5, we hear from the people impacted by these devastating twisters.
I'm Chloe Morrissey near Edgerton, and coming up at 5, I've got you covered on how one family's sentimental structure was spared from any tornado damage.
And in other news tonight, the Wisconsin Elections Commission just adopted new guidance for absentee ballots, the directive that is following a court order.